Okay, hey everyone. All right, originally I was doing a solid state hybrid drive with my G73JH ASUS, and everybody thought, well, I was thinking, no one, not everybody thought, I was thinking that, hey, there's a problem with the hard drive, gotta swap it out. So I put in a solid state hybrid drive. Turns out that that wasn't the issue. What the issue was is that there was a systemic problem. So what that means is I decided, okay, it was time to move up. I was having way too many troubleshooting. It's still an awesome machine. Probably could have fixed it for the price ratio. I moved to da 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 the G750JW. Oh yeah, got it from Best Buy. And what I looked at it is that the chief differences between this machine and then buying off a real gaming house. Um, ASUS kept the major important guts the same. Where you saw differences were like the hard drive, like you got solid state. This still has the two bays open. They added a much larger. This is my impressions on how I liked the machine. They had a much larger glide pad. I like that. They took away some of the functional buttons up here, but no one really used them. It's been sculpted a little bit nicer with you've got a little bit more detailed features. Not that I find the old stealth case any less appealing. That was very subtle, very nice. But these little nuances are kind of nice. Watch out for here. Cables get stuck in here. I kind of discovered that. And it freaks you out when you close your lid and you got cables stuck in there. And you're like, oh, they break my screen. Again, more minimalist on their detailed, what they're trying to tell you here. Underneath here, I kind of like this. They added some molded feet into the bottom to make sure you're getting airflow. I thought that was kind of cool. And then back here, the vents are about the same. Now listen. Yep, that's one of the things about the stealth design. They're awesome. Is that it adds it's still very cool, low temperature running, and when it is running hot, you don't hear those fans very much. Not in contrast to other machines. The screen is a 1900 by 1600 LED versus LCD. I actually like it a lot, and it still goes over to still plugs in to alternate screens very nicely. They've moved it where they've clustered the USB 3 ports, which I kind of like. That was probably a little fast, sorry. They cluster USB 3. There's a Thunderbolt port. I don't really have any Thunderbolt use, so I don't really worry about the HDMI, all the usual stuff. Now, I'm trying to make this a little fast because my other two attempts at this were a little long. It has a 5400 spin, but it doesn't seem to slow down performance. I was really surprised. You open the lid, fires right up in about 15 seconds. I'm not kidding, it really is that quick. You close the lid, goes to sleep, no problem. It still has the open bay. The DDR is DDR-L, so if you're going to upgrade, you have to go for a little bit more expensive RAM. It uses 1.35 volt. If you put 1.5 volt in there, it may cause some issues. So, Chiclet keyboard is still very nice. They added the addition of the Windows button because this machine has been really designed to work with Windows 8. Now I was going to drop my other hard drive in there. Oh, there's my G51 back in the day. I was going to go ahead and drop my hard drive in there and just run my Windows 7. However, you should know ahead of time that Windows 8 is integrated on the BIOS level into the board. And so you have to disengage a lot of stuff. There's about 17 drivers you have to download and put onto it. Really going to be a little bit more of a headache than I wanted, so I thought, okay, I need to get up and running, so I'm just going to try Windows 8. Forgive me, everyone, but I'll do this more in my review of Windows 8, but I have to slowly and sadly admit that I actually like Windows 8. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it turns out I do. Now, I had Windows 8 on my work computer, which is Dell, and that thing was cock blocking me left and right, but I didn't have admin privileges. Here, obviously, I do because I own it. It's really a lot nicer. And spoiler for the Windows 8 review, if you hit Function key and then X, it brings up all your necessary menus right there, and you get out of having to use that start menu a lot. And you can just roll with it. The search on it is pretty phenomenal. I've got the second bay filled with my other hard drive. I thought I was going to go. I might still raid them because they're both 1 terabytes. So all in all, no problems talking to the solid state hybrid at this stage. So it talks to the one that came with it. It talks to the solid state hybrid. It still has all your micro SD, I'm sorry, your mini SD ports. It's got, I'm sorry, not mini. It's got an SD card slot, which it says it's Omni port, so I'm guessing you can plug other things into it. But at the moment, I've only used SD. It's been really nice. The case is matted, so it is a fingerprint magnet, but I've carried around. It gets about 3.5 hours of battery life to 4 hours, depending on if you're running energy efficient or not, maybe more. But I've gotten about 3.5 pretty regularly, pretty consistently. That is light years over to G73, where I was getting like 115, something in that range. Uh, Gaming performs beautifully. I've done Mech Warrior, Star Wars, first-person shooter, no real slowdown while having side operations going. Browsing worked out pretty well. I've tried to mitigate my browsing, so I keep about 40 to 120 tabs open. Nothing serious. I'm usually running multiple browsers, doing multiple things. Um, it's just been really nice. And in fact, this was another nuance I thought was actually kind of nice. The new power brick is 180 watt, not 150, so you won't be able to use your old gear if you're going up from another ASUS. But it's very slick. It's got a nice little emblem on here, very clear, easy to read writing. It feels, dare I say it, Mac-ish in its presentation at the unveiling at the box. I'm sorry I didn't do an open box thing. I was just too excited, and I just tore into it. So, what do I think of it? I think, and that's really what this is about, my impressions. I think that it's a phenomenal gaming rig still. It's a medium high class mobile gaming rig. It's about 10 pounds, but the case is a little more compressed, so it fits in my backpack nicer. Um, it does work stuff, CAD. Uh, it works really, yeah, it worked really nice with CAD. I was kind of surprised. I haven't done too much graphical stuff, but I loaded GIMP on, no problems there. It seems to be usable. For business, if you're doing anything normal, like if all you're ever going to do is Warcraft and spreadsheets, then you can shop for a lesser design. But if you're looking for a more upper class rig that has the quiet feature, that the beautiful screen, just overall nice design, solid feeling hardware, this is a good buy. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I went through Best Buy, I got the 18 months, same as cash, because that worked for me. They took my G73 in for about 150 bucks. So if you clean up your rig and you want to trade it in, you aren't going to get, I would be stunned if you got anything beyond 200, but it's a nice reduction in the tax. Audio. The audio on this is actually pretty nice. I mean, it's got a subwoofer built in, and by subwoofer they mean more than the tinny sound you get from most speakers, but the sounds and the tones and when I plug in the headphones, all very nice. The 765M video card holds its own, really no problems there. I'm pretty impressed with it. There's more to tell you about it, but I don't want this to be like a 12-minute review. So at the end of the story, gamers I think will be pleased. Heavy graphics users are going to be pleased. I think anybody who likes entertainment is going to be pretty nice. It shuts down and opens with the lid in about 15 seconds. Very primo. And like I said, it's a salt machine, well within the if you want specs, you can go online and check some else. But my impressions are, I like it, and I think that no one's gonna be sorry that they own this machine. Now I will be doing a Windows 8 review because shamefully I think I'm converting over to Windows 8, and but with this machine it kind of forced me into it. I was originally expecting to drop in my old hard drive, but apparently there's a little more surgery involved in that. Also, getting to the RAM, I think I mentioned already, it's DDR3L, so it's 1.35 volt RAM. But there's one screw and a pull tab that get to the guts on the underside. Very convenient, nicely done, ASUS. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them for me, and I'll put a follow-up after I've been running it for about 2 months. Thanks.